You dig what I'm saying? If they all hollers, I'm a counterfeit. Yeah, I wanted money, I couldn't enjoy class.
It's your boy, yadiiiigg, 4 eyes, 2 G's, and today we're here to talk about the career of Lil Yachty. And in my video leading up to Teenage Emotions, I said that if Yachty fails to deliver with the album, it could have far-reaching effects on his career, and we could begin to see the decline of Lil Yachty. And now that we have the sales and we see the reception from the fans, and we finally have the needle drop review so everybody can make up their mind, let's get right to it. Is Lil Yachty dead? And are we holding a procession for Lil Yachty in this video? And before we get to it, guys, I just want to say please make sure to follow your boy on all social medias, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications if you haven't. But back to it, is Lil Yachty dead, and are we holding a procession for him in this video? And the simple answer is no. Although I think the album was a flop, and I think this flop marks and is indicative of a significant fall from grace for Yachty since Lil Boat, it's not quite over for Yachty yet. Selling 44,000 first week is a flop for Yachty 100%. However, it's not abysmal. It's just not the amount of support you would expect off the back of 2 top 10 singles, another platinum single of his own, multiple pop crossovers, multiple ads with gigantic companies, and countless controversies. Ideally, he should be pushing from 70 to 100,000, but still, at the end of the day, he did outsell the last efforts from Young Thug, Wale, and Gucci, so they're not absolutely laughable, they're just a flop. And secondly, it's not like Lil Yachty, the personality, the redhead, the extremely marketable, the instantly recognizable young kid with his fake positivity act is dead. The whole brand of Lil Yachty and the image he's been able to construct around this character does not instantly die as a result of this flop. Although it certainly does take a hit, as a part of the reason as to why it worked so well was because he was just so prevalent and was everywhere, but it's not dead. And the way I see it, if the image and branding of Yachty, which has been so crucial in his come up, isn't dead, he could bounce back again. But what Yachty really needs right now is another hit. He's just simply had too many flops. Summer Songs 2, flop. It Takes Two, flop so hard that they wiped the video from YouTube. Bring It Back, flop so hard that they should have wiped the video from YouTube. Harley, flop. X-Man, flop. Peekaboo, did alright. And Teenage Emotions on the whole, flop. Nobody is trying to hear Yachty right now, and his moment as that new up-and-comer, that goofy kid that the internet hypebeast demographic latched onto as their poster boy for the new generation is done, and now he needs to prove that he is worth outside of a small run in late 2015 to mid 2016, and show that Lil Boat wasn't a fluke. Teenage Emotions felt like a far too calculated debut album that tried to please every audience but his own, and I didn't hate the album, and I hate to come across and to sound like some corny elitist douchebag, but it really felt like Yachty switched up on his team. Burberry Perry, or The Good Perry as he is known now, is not even featured on a single song on the album vocally, and only produces 1 song across the whole project. This was the guy who helped create the sound of Yachty to begin with, his brother in arms throughout the struggle of coming up. He went from producing 5 tracks on Lil Boat and being featured on 2 of them vocally, to producing 3 and being on 3 vocally on Summer Songs 2, to only producing a single track on Teenage Emotions. And not a single other member from the sailing team is featured on the album as far as I know. It felt like Yachty got way too ahead of himself. Things like the YG verse and the Diplo production felt forced, and because he is this huge name now, he can get all these bells and whistles, but all those names and extras don't always make for good music, which is clearly the case on Teenage Emotions. So Yachty needs to get back on his shit, whether it's a few loosies or a project, but whatever he comes back with needs to be good, because Yachty has 1 arm and 1 leg in the freezer right now. His roller coaster is peaked at the top, and at this very moment it's looking all downhill from here. And if I had to guess, I'd still say Yachty will begin to slowly fade into irrelevance over the next couple years, as he hasn't proven himself commercially or artistically with Teenage Emotions, and I feel like he won't be able to recapture that magic that made the Lil Boat era so special, but it's not completely black or white as of yet. He still has his image, and clearly people do care about his music still, so Yachty finds himself in a grey area, where his next moves are the decider for people whether or not to continue caring about Lil Yachty. And if he continues to come with mediocre material again and again, expect them to stop checking for him completely. Alright guys, that's all from me today. Thanks a lot for watching. Make sure to let me know what you think about the video and what you think is next for Lil Yachty. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow me on all social medias for more.